Hello, and a very good morning. I'm off to the market, and it's perhaps a 20, maybe 25-minute walk. So this is going to be the equivalent video, depending on how long it takes me to get there, how fast I walk. Right, so we shall begin, shall we? Right, so each Monday I go to the market to get, if you like, alternative medicine for my sister. Good morning. I pick up alternative medicine for my sister, turmeric. But the thing is, I look at it like this, because I've already said that we're not on the same level. And in saying that, people will automatically assume that this is me saying my level is better than my sister's level, which I am not saying. It's a matter of each to their own. But it is a bit like alcohol or drugs. Even if you're not the type. Alright, so if you believe that you're not going to get drunk by consuming a lot of alcohol, whether or not you believe it, the nature of alcohol is to intoxicate you, the same as drugs. So, I'm working on the principle that even if her spirit isn't willing and her flesh is weak, I'm working on the principle that the turmeric will do what it's going to do anyway. It's got really good health benefits. So whether or not her mind is capable of, I don't know, I apply the mind over matter principle. So whether or not she abides by the mind over matter principle, if I keep shoving large quantities of turmeric down her, well, I don't force it down her, I peel it, I give it to her, she eats it, then it is improving her health on the inside, whether or not it reflects on the outside. So anyway, on a Monday I go to the market and I do this. I just go and buy large amounts of turmeric, and even if I can't see the results on the outside, I know it's working on the inside because it's very good for health purposes. Anyway, so that's my introduction. I want to address a couple of things. The first one, I was having a conversation with someone overnight, and he asked the question, which is more important, school or church? Now, whenever I speak, I don't speak on behalf of anybody else. I speak on behalf of myself. So I said church. Now, if I say church, for me, was more beneficial than school, then I would like to think that I know what I'm talking about, especially if I've laid it out. But if you've got your own set of beliefs that are different to mine, whereas you might try to persuade me to believe as you do, I do not try to persuade anybody to believe as I do. I simply live. And if there is anything, which is what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to let our light so shine before men that they may see our good works and glorify our Father in heaven. So if God is not reflected in you, if you can't go and talk to people about God, well, you can, but you make yourself look stupid. You cannot go and talk to people about God if God is not reflected in you. Especially if the people you're speaking to are better off physically. They've got better health than you. They've got they're in a better position in life than you. whatever it is that people place value in, they've got more of it than you. You can't really go and talk to them. So I decided on Saturday that I was going to get back into my keep young and beautiful routine. And it's not a case that I slack off. It's that I know what I need to do when I need to do it. So I figured that seeing that the system is in free fall and I know what my duty here on earth is to do, I figured I'd start to, it's a bit like a boxer preparing for a heavyweight title fight. He doesn't wait until the night before he's due to step in the ring to do a few drills, if you like. He prepares himself properly. So it is from that same standpoint. I know what it is that what my gifts are, and how I am supposed to use them. And it came to my mind that I should get back on the horse and start, as I said, the keep young and beautiful routine. Obviously, by now, everybody should be in on the joke. My surname's Young, and I look young, right? So, sometimes when I post on Facebook, the posts go over heads, and it can seem that I'm being vain. But Saturday night, I posted. After coming back, I walked. I went shopping, but I went the long way round for exercise. And on the way back, the last place I stopped was Tesco. And I was at the till. I posted this. I was at the till, and the cashier, who I've dealt with on many occasions, but we've only exchanged pleasantries like, "Hi, how are you?" but never in anything. And she said to me, this isn't the first time I've had this kind of experience. This is confirmation from God. I know the drill, so I know I know how he works by now. And she said to me, "I can't believe it." Now, if you've got discernment, you won't have to ask the person, "What do you mean?" You can't believe what I knew what she meant. And she said her colleague keeps talking about it. Her colleague some months ago asked me, we were at the till, and sometimes people from a starting point of nothing ask me my age. And I will tell them I've never lied about my age or anything, or even lied when I was younger to get into a venue, even though clubbing and partying was in my DNA. I've never lied. I've been turned away back in my heyday, where you needed to be 21 to get in, and I didn't look anything like 21. And but I never tried to prove or disprove anything. So she said to me that her colleague, I know which one it was, obviously I talk about it, my age, and she wanted to know, how do you do it, kind of thing. People always want to know my secrets. And all I said to her was, I do my own thing. I live my life. I don't embrace any of the pressures that society puts on people. You need to get married. You need to get a mortgage. You need to have children. You need to do this. You need to do that, whatever. I just live my life. And I've always lived my life, even when I've been deemed as the odd one out in the family. I just continued, irrespective of the pressures. Well, when I say pressures, I'm talking about negative energy. Irrespective of all of that, I've always done my own thing, as far as I know it to be right. And obviously sometimes you do things not necessarily in the hope that they are right, but you do them according to your level of intelligence. And while I have no regrets, because I don't believe I've done anything that has stuffed up my life as such. The only things that perhaps I wish I could have done better were things with regards to maintaining myself. So, talking about the keeping young and beautiful routine, I'm talking about things that were health promoting. There are things that perhaps if I knew then, I would have done them. But even in saying that, I was way ahead of my time, because way before we had the internet, I knew about I'd start doing things like using bicarbonate of soda, and it was just seemed like a good idea, and then sometime down the line you find out that these things are actually beneficial. So we're talking now about inspiration. So I know there are people who are trapped in situations and family setups and cultures and traditions that are binding, and religions even, and so they dare not step away, so they cannot live true to their purpose. But for me, I am not in that situation yet. Of course, people frown. People aren't happy with the decisions that you make in your life and so on. But that's neither here nor there. It's whether you care for what people think about you, which I don't. I've never sought anybody's approval. I've just lived my life. And what do you know? Now the situation's flipped and people want to know my secrets. Not just about why I look how I look, but just my attitude. How can you remain so calm when everybody else is panicking? It's a process. So the way I look at, I'm going back to the conversation I was having with a gentleman on Facebook with regards God. For me, God is a process. I don't presume to know God beyond what I do know. And I don't, I'm not trapped in a box and or trapped with ideas that I don't want to let go of. My thing is, I want to keep, I don't like the term learning and growing, especially growing, because it just, that's not how it is. It's just a process, it's development. It's not so much, wanting to be a better person or whatever. I like who I am. But of course you would want to be more efficient at being who you are, kind of thing. If who you are is you're not a bad person, whatever. So I think it's very interesting, just how we try to put our ideas of right and wrong on other people. So the other thing, tying in with that, there is obviously there's a lot going on with American politics at the moment, and there is this one man, Pastor James Manning, who right from the beginning when Obama came along, he was just coming out and blazing, just saying his thoughts very strongly about what he thought about Obama, what Obama is, what he isn't, and was interviewing former school friends. Well, if you want to call them former school friends, they're not friends, they're just people who knew him from school. And so all of this information is out there. There's a lot of information out there about Obama. But good morning. But the tendency with a lot of people, and I find this more so with black people, people think that the only reason why people criticize Obama is jealousy, and because they don't like the idea of a black man being president or something. So it's never anything to do with his character. They always put it down to appearance and to jealousy. So if you're not a respecter of persons, you're able to hear what people are saying and to discern whether, it depends if you've got discernment actually, to discern whether what they are saying is valid. And then what you will do, you will go and look up the information. You can go and search and find what it is that you're looking for. And, you might find more than what you're looking for. So for some reason, it's been a long while because Pastor Manning doesn't have a YouTube channel anymore because YouTube has been purging. So obviously with his content, he would be among the first to go because he would be deemed a hate preacher. But other people have shared his videos. People with their own YouTube channels, they've sort of done compilations. And so now, obviously it's the algorithm. Every time I go on YouTube, there are, I have my pick. I can find compilations like 90 minutes, 100-minute compilations of Pastor Manning, and in which you can still hear him saying what he was saying from the very beginning about Obama and his traits. So it will be interesting to see how things pan out, because now that I've got these videos, and I was one of those as well who from the very beginning, when people were getting excited about Obama, I was one of them who wasn't, and I was viewed as the type of black person who bashes black people, who doesn't like to see other black people succeeding. But from as far back as I can remember, I've not been a respecter of persons. I treat people as, well, I view everybody the same. I don't have more respect for one person than I do for another, based on their social standing or their bank balance or their level of education, their skin color, their gender. I treat, not even family actually, even family don't get a pass. I treat everybody the same. I have the same level of respect for people until they show me that they deserve more or that they don't deserve any at all. And so there are people who straight away, they would call somebody like Pastor Manning all the names under the sun without even, just hearing that, oh, he's somebody who doesn't like Obama. They wouldn't even investigate his reasons. Why not? They would just take it that, oh, he's one of those black people who don't like black people, who's always bashing black people, and so forth. But it's good that there are that there is evidence out there of all the things that are going to come out. People were saying it even before it was exposed by the media and so forth. It will be good that these things are out there, and to have a conversation at such a time as it becomes relevant as to why in particular so many churchgoers got caught out, because churchgoers are the ones, Christians in particular, are the ones who are supposed to lead from the front, and many of them would argue that they are leading from the front, but I would beg to differ, because anyway, it will become apparent. But I've got everything there lined up, and I will ask the question at such a time that it becomes relevant why so many got caught out. I already know the answer. It's because they are respecters of persons. So I am going to wind up here because I've said quite a bit, and although it may not be interesting, it is relevant. So I'm going to leave this here. I've now arrived at the market actually. I will leave this here, and in due course I'll come back to it. But I'm just going to wind up by saying that if you have a belief and you feel you need to force it down other people's throats, and if what you believe isn't reflected in you, you need to go. Not that I'm giving you advice. I'm not necessarily the type who cares to give people unsolicited advice. In fact, even when people solicit advice, I'm not in the habit of doing it. I would, though, advise that you take a good look at yourself, beginning in the mirror, and ask yourself what it is about you that is so different to the people that you're trying to convert around to your way of thinking and your belief system. And on that note, I shall wish you all a very good Monday morning, and see you later. Take care of yourselves.